Hello everybody, it is May 5th, 2013, James Rink here, and I have Denise with me. And today we're going to talk a little bit about the Super Soldier Summit 2013. Now I was at the Super Soldier Summit 2012 in San Francisco, and one of the things that I noticed the most was that by standing together with other Milab victims and other victims of mind control and monarch programming, we were able to basically buck the powers that be, because they don't. First of all, they don't like the fact that A, we are talking about this kind of material, but B, that we're helping other people and assisting them in their healing process, and also C, in doing it in such a public way, it totally defies them. What we're doing is basically groundbreaking and revolutionary in a good, positive way. And Denise, I believe you're coming to the 2013 summit.
Yes, I am. I'm really excited. I learned about the first summit, and I couldn't attend, but I had kept it in mind, and I really want to go. As an audience member, I have a lot to learn, really, because since 2012, I have been getting back some of my memories through regression that does include my lab experiences and such. So I want to be able to learn as much as possible about what is to come during this conference.
And that's why it's so important to come to these conferences and meet up and network with other like-minded individuals, because there isn't an outlet for us to not only network, but also to learn each other's stories. I mean, there's MUFON and there's some other organizations, but they're primarily focused with UFO abductions. There's really nothing specifically for military abduction, the military abduction phenomenon. I'm definitely going to be there, and of course Denise will be there, as well as some as others. I believe. Who else is on? Evie Lorgen, is that how you say her name? Yeah, she does regressions as well. The website for the Super Soldier Summit is supersoldiersummit.com. So everybody go to that website and get yourself a ticket. The tickets are I think it's like $100, so it's actually really fair price, and it's a 3-day it's a 3-day event, May 17th, 18th, and 19th in Henderson, Nevada. And the hotel rates are really reasonable. I believe I don't know, $28 to $32 a night, maybe something like that. Well, maybe
Mine was $29 for the first night and the last night, so I thought that was really good for being a resort. It's the Fiesta.
Okay.
Fiesta, yeah. So very reasonable price.
All right. Okay. It says here Eve Lorgen is an author, hypnotherapist, and 20-year researcher in anomalous trauma, alien abductions, MyLab, and mind control survivors. And it goes on here, gives her bio, so you can read all about her bio. And she's worked with a lot of different MyLabs as well. So she's going to be there sharing her craft, regressions, and so forth. And that's kind of what I do with Super Soldier Talk. And I've actually worked with you, Denise, a little bit. Maybe would you like to comment about that?
Yeah, absolutely. I was able to remember quite a bit, especially after you had put a certain. I think that what is that term called when you put a little word in there at the end, and then it kind of causes you to remember later on.
Like a subliminal?
Yeah, like a hypnotic suggestion, perhaps. That really helps me a lot to remember. In fact, over the last week, I've been doing a lot of just a lot of flashbacks sort of coming back to me, and it just really, really helps out.
Yeah. And that's why it's so important for us to work together and support each other, because it's just one key of the puzzle here to help find answers. And that's why coming to this summit is so important, so that we can not only learn from each other, but also maybe learn new techniques to help integrate ourselves. Okay, so
Right.
who else? Carrie Cassidy's going to be there from Project Camelot. Solaris Blue Raven, and she's written numerous books about, I guess, gang stalking and TI. Um, and I don't know if that's so much the MyLab phenomena, and that's important to note that this summit is not just about super soldiers and MyLabs. It's also about mind control and monarch programming, and people who have been experimented on, um, not just through aliens, but through various covert, and it doesn't even have to be covert government. It could be certain. There's apparently even the mafia has gotten a hold of certain technologies that can, like, microwave weapons. Are you familiar with these technologies they use on my lab? I mean, well, I guess targeted individual community.
Yes, I am absolutely.
Could you elaborate a little bit on that?
Well, I have had. I mean, obviously, I'm a little bit too old to have an onset of schizophrenia, so I don't have auditory hallucinations.
Yeah,
But as of late, since 2012, I heard a couple of voices in my head, and it sounded like a human being, and it was giving me, just telling me certain things that I needed to do and stuff. So, really kind of strange. And I believe that is, it all has to do with mind control. Sometimes they make you feel bad when perhaps you might come right out and say something about what's going on with you. Then you start to feel really bad, maybe physically or emotionally, that sort of thing. You got to kind of try and keep up on top of that, keep your vibrations high, if you will.
yeah. Well, I also read a statistic that about 15% of the population is immune to these psychotronic weapons, and that's what they're actually called. Um, and if you'd like to learn a little bit more about that, I recommend you listen to Jesse Ventura's Brain Invaders episode on conspiracy theory.
That was
It's
great. Loved
yeah,
it.
yeah. Gives you a lot more info about that. And it's not just microwave weapons, psychotronic weapons. There's also satellites that can apparently read your aura and monitor what you're thinking. And they've had this technology for quite a long time. And then it's even a lot goes a lot more sophisticated once you start dealing with nanotechnology and nanites. But anyhow, so that's certainly one aspect of this field. And let's see here. So Douglas Dietrich is going to show up now. He was at the last summit. I believe he's like a protege of someone within the was it the Church of Seth. He because I know he worked with like the military like has they actually have a I don't want to use the word Satanism, but they actually have like a priest. It says here under his profile, his post was within the San Francisco Western Defense Command Center. Doesn't say who he worked, but he worked at the San Francisco Presidio, which was known to experiment not only on children, I believe in the daycare. So we're talking about Satanism in the military.
Oh,
Yeah, so that's and I guess he goes into Ron Hubbard. Apparently, he was involved. Um,
wow.
and I'm trying to think of the name. It was Jack Parsons, but he I forgot who he worked directly under, and of course I think Douglas might be a little mad at me for not remembering. There's so much here, but that's why you need to come to these summits to learn about this. So also, there are going to be other super soldiers. I'm going to be there. Max Spears, Tyler Clark. He was um, he was involved in Astral Space Command or something. I think that's what he said. Um, and there's going to be, of course, I know there's going to be a lot of others in the audience. I don't know how many super soldiers are going to speak. Um, just most,
Now,
yes.
the difference between the first Super Soldier Summit and this Super Soldier Summit is that, correct me if I'm wrong, is that the first one was all about the super soldiers. Now, this time they've added a component, or at least three others: My Labs, Mind Control, and Electronic Harassment, right?
Well, yeah, generally, of course, even the last one, it was more. they were trying to do a more wider exposure, but and it would be kind of unfair to just focus on super soldiers because it's more about just trying to make people aware of just trauma in general, and that's why I believe they, I guess you could say, open the door to more different venues into this field of research.
Right.
So,
I also would like my subscribers to know what a super soldier is. Can you explain that?
okay, as compared to a Manchurian candidate who is like a sacrificial lamb, used to for exterminations primarily, but also it could be used for reconnaissance, psychic warfare such as remote viewing, and it's actually extremely sophisticated form of remote viewing. It's instead of just standard when you think of military remote viewing, you think of them close. They have their eyes closed, and somebody's describe, or they may be drawing a picture like a blurry picture or something. They don't know what they're drawing, and it's not like that at all. They actually have technologies where they can interface with your brain and pull it on a screen, and so
Wow.
they can see anywhere what you're thinking, and they can also use this screen for looking into the past, into the future, into potential different timelines. They can go into your dreams, um, create altars, and traumatize you through your sleep. Um, that again is going into psychotronic weapon warfare, and so the remote viewing aspect also, they could be sent back in time. They can also be used, in my case, my so-called alter, which is like a split DID MPD split, is in another body and is being used from what I believe is actually something known as Air Force Space Command. So my alter is like in another body, and it's like controlling another avatar like creature, which are actually called Cybus and Arbus, but that's a totally different story. So, but my what I'm actually involved in is could be different from what other super soldier experiences are involved in. Some people actually may be living a double life where they black out for 2-3 days and there's a clone of them in their place, and they're actually physically in another location doing God knows what. Like Larry Solar's. You can go and listen to his story on YouTube. He's not. I don't know if he's coming or not. It'd be nice if he would, but anyhow, did that answer your question?
Yes,
Oh,
absolutely.
oh, one thing
Well,
I didn't make the distinction is that, like I said, Manchurian in Canada is a sacrificial lamb. A super soldier is used over and over again. They literally spend billions of dollars on each super soldier, um, and it's not just the time and energy spent to traumatize them, split them up, but it's also you got to think about all the avatar bodies, feeding the staff. Um, you got to pay for all the technology to send them through the time jump gates and all that, and so it can be very expensive.
and so that comes from what budget?
Oh, well,
The pay the payment for
okay,
that would come from Black Ops budget, correct?
okay. Um, well, I did a little bit of research. I don't even know if you could consider this research, but at least I guess you could say through the grapevine. It's rumored that the money comes directly underneath the Federal Reserve Bank, and it's controlled by the UN and the Air Force. I believe Air Force Space Command, U.S. Air Force Space Command, and the UN. Of course, any nation that's involved in NATO is connected to has access to these projects, but in particular the Air Force. Um, and I'm not just saying that I'm sure there are other branches of the military that has access, but they seem to be the most. Now, I want to make a distinction between U.S. Air Force Space Command and Space Command because these may be two different entities. I'm really not quite sure because apparently there are reptilians involved, there are greys involved, and there seems to be two different factions of reptilians. One would be the negative reptilian form, and they are carnivorous, and they seem to be connected more with the Nazi Milab phenomena. And then there's another faction of reptilians and greys who are connected more to the Council of Light, and they also have created super soldiers. And apparently, what happened is some of us have incarnated here on this planet that's connected with that group, and then the military gets a hold of us, and then they traumatize and use us. If that makes sense. So,
Absolutely. Yes.
um, so and that's all part of the awareness process, and that's why it's so important to come to conferences like this to show your support, to learn and educate yourself, so that way um, you will know um, at least be able to recognize some of the signs. And I want to mention that, of course, I know you were asking me earlier, Denise, how many people are possibly involved. Were you able to pull up any statistics?
I know that there are millions of people involved with regard to alien abductions, but I don't really know what the statistics are with regard to the Milabs, which is the joint military alien abductions. I'm sure it's
Okay.
much less.
Well, all right. I think I might have in my book I might have mentioned maybe 10,000 people, but let's hear. So I know for like alien abduction, apparently it's high as like 2 million within the United States alone have been picked up by the Greys, had their memories wiped and put back. And a lot of these people suffer from asthma or allergies, or they may have pain in their different various orifices from things being jammed in and out. So, and they may not. I mean, and they may have an interest in UFO phenomena, but they may not have quite put all the dots together because their memories have been wiped that they've actually been abducted themselves, and it may have only been one time in their life, maybe when they're a child or whenever. So that's one side of the story. Now again, with super soldiers, like I said earlier, were used over and over again, and I get needle marks on a daily basis, sometimes even more. So I know I'm heavily used, or really, I think the needle marks are to keep me drugged so I don't remember what I'm being used for. But I think 10,000 would be a good safe number for people that have been experimented on through my labs. Um, and most of these people are been subjected to severe trauma to the point where they would actually have DID, dissociative identity disorder. Um, they would have numerous health problems associated with that, from trauma, such as could be autoimmune problems, chronic fatigue seems to be another common thing that shows up. Candida infection, even like neurological deficits, extreme ADHD, which could be associated to actually having alters, or like schizophrenia. Some people are um, they may think they're getting hallucinations and this and that, but what they're telepathic, and they've probably been subjected to drugs and experimentation, because I know at least part of the Mark Ultra project, many people that are part of the original Montauk experiment, most of them are in mental hospitals now. But and that's why I wanted, like I said earlier, where there's two groups of super soldiers, one with the negative reptilians, that's with the Orion branch, Orion Prime, the Dracos. But the other side is with the Council of Light, and who seem to be associated with Betelgeuse and Orion and that group. Um, and they, and so, like I said earlier, when the military, and I guess you could say the Illuminati, because they're all involved too, when they create these monarchs, most of these people are so shattered and messed up. All you got to do is look at Charles Manson. Now he was
Mhm.
supposedly he was actually part of Henry Kissinger's special. I'm not gonna say I know. I guess he would be like Henry Kissinger would have been his handler, but he was in the military and he was trained for special forces, and he was shattered so much. And of course, what they were trying to do is make him train these soldiers to kill without remorse. But when the alters start integrating as they get older, then that's when all hell breaks loose, because sometimes these alters split up, are basically berserkers, and so the guy went insane. And of course, he's in. I don't know. Is he did they give him the death row, or is he dead? Well, do you
I
know?
don't I don't know, to be honest with you. Now, do you think he
Okay.
was a Milab victim, or do you
No,
think that he's a
no,
super soldier?
no. I don't think he was either. I don't think he. My Labs is more connected. I would say my Labs would be more the Nazi, the negative reptilians, and the Nazi side. Um, and as far as being abducted, I don't really know. I don't think he's a super soldier. I think he was a soldier that was trauma brought through the military, and they have their own. Basically, they copied the aliens' technology, and they done it for themselves. A very rudimentary form of what the aliens do, but they do it in such a way just totally just ruins these people's lives. Does that make sense?
Yes, sure, absolutely.
Yes. Okay. So, all right. All
So, but
right.
I do know that the mine labs are connected. Well, that is the military abductions are connected in some sort of alien motive. They want to know what the agenda is with regard to alien technology, genetic enhancement, testing. In my case, it's been testing and development of psi abilities. And let's see here. I think that's pretty much all that I can remember.
But you,
But
but
there is a motivation involved, right?
yeah, you remember the reptilian?
Which in my
Yeah,
session with you, yes,
yeah,
I do.
yeah. You were in a room. Were they military? Or,
They were connected with the military, yes.
but I mean, did you see them wearing suits, or were they wear what I mean suits? Were they wearing a military suit, or would it look more like something a business suit?
It looked more like a military suit.
Okay. And were you able to see any kind of insignia? Do you
No,
remember?
remember
Okay.
that? No.
Okay. Yeah, well, that seems to be another common theme of people, even abductees, not necessarily those who've been experimented on through my labs, but there are a lot of abductees that not only they get abducted by the ETs, and then the military picks them up. They'll say this negative reptilian my lab branch picks them up, and basically interrogates them to see what they know and try. I guess they're trying to extract information. I think there was another one. I think it was Melinda Leslie. Let's see here, because there was someone who claimed that she was picked up by the reptilians and brought to the moon, and they were and someone on the ship commented that to be careful what they say around her because everything she's seen is being reported back to her star family.
Okay.
So they were kind of pissed that they shouldn't have picked her up, and so I think that's also important to know is that um, us abductees, if we are picked up by the military and experimented on, everything we see and do, I mean, everything we see and hear is all being reported back to their star nations. So they're all spying on each other.
Right. Yeah.
There's no real secrets here, and it's kind of ridiculous they even try to keep this secret. Well, I guess they're able to do it, right? I mean, not many people are aware of this. But
Right.
I don't know how much longer that be, and that's why it's important for you to show your support, to come to the summit, and to learn about these things, so that you can go back home and share with your community what really is going on, and make people aware. It's like in AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, they teach you. Not that I'm a member of AA, but they teach you can't fix what you don't acknowledge. So first of all, we have to acknowledge that this phenomenon is indeed going on, and then I guess you say, oh, well, then we could try to fix it. So, uh, haven't quite figured that one out, how to fix it, but at least learning about it, maybe together we can come together with a solution.
Right. Yes. Very, very good. Very good. Now,
Okay.
I want to be able to offer some of my subscribers. I'm going to have a lot of people listening to this, and I wanted to be able to offer any of my subscribers who come to the summit now in just a couple of weeks here. On which, what are the dates there, James?
May 17th, 18th, and 19th.
Yeah. So any of my subscribers, I want to be able to offer them a free regression session while I am there with me. I am a certified clinical hypnotherapist, so I do those types of regressions as well. So I do want to be able to offer that to, I'll say, the first 6 people who approach me on that. Okay.
Okay. Well, can you give out your email address for people to contact you?
Well, people are contacting me through Facebook, and you're welcome to contact me through Facebook. That's pretty much the only way that
Okay. What?
I'm always on Facebook. So,
All right. Can we put a link for that in the video? Would that be all right?
yes.
Okay. So click on the link to, and you can go contact Denise through Facebook. And likewise, I'm going to be there. I really don't think I'm going to have too much time to do regressions on people. Um, maybe I can maybe squeeze in 2 or 3 people. If you contact me prior to the summit, I've already got some people lined up. I like to do some more work with Denise and some others. But if you're interested, you can also try contacting me as well. And if I get booked, I'll send you over to Denise. So and and Denise, is there a charge or a fee for that?
Well, no, I think if you're the first 6, if you're in the first 6, then no, I won't charge anything at all. It'll be about an hour session, and
Okay.
um, after that, I guess you're pretty much going on into my Vegas time, and so I probably would maybe charge like something nominal, like $20 an hour or something like that.
Okay.
Normally, I would charge $90 an hour,
Yeah.
so something,
And
yeah.
that's really important because a lot of us abductees in Milabs, we really don't have a lot of money. And I think that's also the way they want to keep us disempowered. But you know what? We can help each other out. It doesn't have to be about the money. It could be about just showing love and support for your fellow humanity. And I mean, and even with the summit, there is a nominal fee, but think about what you're going to get by participating. And it's a lot of these summits. I don't know if you have ever seen how much the summits. I mean, not summit, but the conferences that Stephen Greer puts on. They can cost well into the thousands. So this is a very affordable event for what you're getting. So
$100 for 3 days?
yeah,
Wow. And then
yeah,
you get to talk with super soldiers and just kind of learn about maybe even about yourself through talking with the super soldiers and the MyLab victims.
good. All right, and so I just want to briefly wrap this up here. There's also Joann Richards is coming. And Joann, her husband was actually he was involved in a U.S. Air Force Space Command, and he was sent off in off-world missions. He recalled working with reptilians. Right now, the guy's sitting in prison. I believe they framed him for something. I think it was a murder. Um,
Oh gosh,
do you
yes.
remember
That's I
what
heard about that,
specifics?
yes.
Yeah, so Joann Richards going to be there sharing about that. And I've met Joann at the last summit, and she's a sweetheart, and she knows her stuff, and and her and her story. I believe her story is valid, and it's quite a shame, really, what they have done to her husband, and as well as Myles Johnston. I know Myles. Do you know Myles, Denise?
No,
Okay.
don't.
Yeah, she works with contactees to promote, or at least to bring unity, or maybe not unity, but she's helping contactees learn about their experiences. I don't know if she does regressions, but she does support groups, kind of like MUFON, but in her local community. And she focuses more on the positive reptilian contacts. She's actually been visited by reptilians. I guess you would call them benevolent kind. Even though they may be scaly or they may have I don't know horns. I don't know if they couldn't imagine. All you got to do is imagine what some of these reptiles look like. But apparently there are some of them out there that don't that are not like carnivorous or view humanity as a food source. And
Right.
one of them actually saved her from. I believe she said she was actually a part of the Monarch program. Like I said earlier, the government has the the Earth government here has their program, and they shattered her and left her for dead. Well, I don't know her full story, so I can't speak for her, what exactly the specifics are. But I know that she was she got divine intervention through one of these benevolent reptilians. So you can listen to her story as well.
It's fantastic. I'd love to hear it.
Yeah, so this is a fantastic lineup, great speakers, uh, a good price, and you'll be able to meet us as well. So, I mean, what else could you ask for? So, go to the website, supersoldiersummit.com, and get your tickets now. They're selling fast. Well, you really need to go out and book your room as soon as possible to make sure you have a place to stay. I mean, there are other hotels in the area, but if you get a room in the in this hotel, you could save yourself some money because, like I said, $28, $32 a night. That's, I don't know where you're going to find that anywhere else. Anyhow, is there any other questions, Denise, you want to ask her?
No, I'm just excited. I'm hoping to see some of my subscribers out there join us for the second Super Soldier Summit, dealing with super soldiers, Milabs, mind control, and electronic harassment, and maybe you'll be able to get a chance to be regressed by one of us, and come out and talk with us. We'd love to
Yeah,
hear you, to talk with you.
and
That's all.
it also looks like Myles Johnson's going to be there from Amish Project. Are you familiar with that?
I've heard. Yes, I've heard of him. Yes.
Yeah, so he's going to be there too. I don't know if he's going to be a speaker per se, but it'd be interesting to hear him.
Well, Laura Blackwell's going to be there. She's a friend of mine, and I'm excited.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm also excited to hear her story.
And Eva Moore, she's involved with, isn't it? It's Wolf Spirit Radio, I believe, in that network. Mm-hmm. And she has her own show. So there's going to be a lot of spiritually aware people, and so it's just a good place to network. And so come on out and get your tickets.
Yep.
All right.
Join us.
Okay. Thank you, everyone, for listening in, and that's all for now. And I guess I'll see you at the summit.
Okay, see you then.
Bye-bye.
Safe. Bye-bye.